Just down the road is another hearty restoration soul.
I live here because I was born here. That's the only reason I'd ever want to live here.
Bob Odegaard. Like Jerry Beck, Bob started in the crop dusting business. Then, after 17 years of having to maintain his own airplanes, as well as others, he gravitated towards the antiques.
Obviously, like most of the kids, I drooled over the Mustang and the Corsair. And one day the teeth got so long, they got so deep in my flesh, I could never get rid of it, so I got really involved. And that was about like 1985.
After working on warbirds for a few years, Bob stumbled upon the project of his and many people's dreams.
And I knew of 57. I knew it floated around the country. I saw it in the back of a shed and, never realized that I'd ever have it.
A Super Corsair.
Say the Super Corsairs were kind of unknown because they were being developed right toward the end of the war and never became operational. They had a lot of power, and the air racers picked them up after the war and were very successful. There weren't very many of them. There's only like 10 production airplanes ever built. And there's only 3 of them left today.
The Super Corsair was just what the name suggests, a souped-up version of the Vought fighter of the Pacific. After the war, air racing was the venue that let the Super Corsair shine. Famed Cleveland air racer Cook Cleland recognized the potential of the Super Corsair and added 3 to his racing team. In the 1949 race, Cleland had 57 raced by Ben McKillen, who gave her the distinctive red and white paint scheme. McKillen did no modifications prior to the race. In the Tinnerman Trophy race, McKillen in 57 came in first place.
The greatest reward, or of course probably the most exciting thing that happened to me, again it was kind of by accident, and that was stumbling across race 57 because of not just being an airplane, it's an airplane that's got some history.
Race 57 was famous. So famous that folks back then didn't just make models of the Super Corsair. They made them of that particular plane. Apollo astronaut Neil Armstrong was one of those folks.
To be able to redo it and fly it, it's a very nice flying airplane. And to take it off to the air shows and have the people come up to you that saw it or their dad took them to the air races and they were like 12 years old and they think they'd never see the airplane again. Here it shows up one day and they're very surprised, and that's probably the best payback for me, is to see that.
Along with maintaining his Super Corsair, Bob has a full plate of restorations in the works.
I believe I've got about half a dozen airplanes right now. Mustang, couple Corsairs, half a C-47, 414 Bonanza, and another Mustang going together, I guess.
One of those at his shop in the works, a second Super Corsair.